Today we're in the northeast of England and we're looking at the eastern side of the Roman wall and its limits. And first of all we come to Arbeia Roman Fort, although technically not part of the Roman wall, and is on the Durham side of the Tyne in South Shields. It is a reconstruction of the gatehouse and other buildings on the original plans and layout of the Roman fort that protected the Tyne and was an observation post for the Romans in South Shields. Although there was local settlements in the past, the original Roman occupation of this area was earliest dated at about AD 125, and obviously built up from there with a legion and garrison. There was about 480 infantry and about 120 cavalry, and no doubt some of the Roman naval fleet were based at the bottom on the river, because this they did show the mouth of the Tyne was a defensive area for it and for the Roman wall. And as we see at the far end of the building there is the barracks and the commanding officer's house. And as we pass through the area of the infantry and cavalry barracks and the granaries, we can see there the gatehouse, the well, and this is all free to get in. Well, it's pretty much helped by volunteers, but it's absolutely wonderful. And here we see the barracks, and we'll go into the barrack rooms in a minute. This was built on the original barrack command officers' houses, and they were built in the year 2000, having the entranceway, the reconstructed west gate was the original one, was built in 1988, and it's continued on. And as we can see, it's an example of how the soldiers lived. Absolutely fascinating, this. I mean, that's the head officer's house in well, that section, Centurion, and then obviously you have the smaller little houses, house actual infantry themselves, usually 2 to 4 people in on bunks, and a little bit of a kitchen. But it's dry and comfortable, better than being out in the field on usual Roman forts that were originally tents on the way up, no doubt, and on the way into Scotland and whatever. But here there was a lot of religion. I say the Romans brought Christianity to the fore, but previously before that, obviously it was Jupiter and Apollo, Bacchus, Ceres, Cupid, Diana, Fortuna, Mithras, and there's an interesting memorial in Benwell to a Roman god and Romano English god. Here you can see the latrines here, and there you go, that's the actual barracks itself. And on the other side is command officer's house, this narrow gap here. And of course the commanding officer's wife and his helpers and slaves, of course, had a more luxurious place to live. Granary. Wasn't take a photograph or film of some of it because there was other people there and some children, so I didn't want to get them in the film. But this little open courtyard here with nice little ornate little pond in. A lot of paint work. Absolutely stunning and beautiful, really. You can see it looks like compared with the poor soldiers next door. But then again, the soldiers didn't have it so bad. I mean, in the Roman army, if you joined up, you know, you were treated well. And also windows are high up, probably for defensive positions as well. But to still let light in. And some of the paintwork on the walls is absolutely stunning. Obviously, that's some of this wonderful furniture. A lot of it probably brought in from Rome, probably by boat. There where the guests sat and dined in the togas with their wives, with grapes and whatever. The usual thing we can imagine from a lot of Roman programs in the past. And out we go again. You can see the open courtyard from here. Obviously it's sunny, but like in most places in the northeast, not that usual. It's pretty rare, the sun. And there's I think that's Juno, I'm not too sure. And it's absolutely wonderful to actually go around and visit this place. And here we are heading into Segedunum. You'll find Walls End on the Northumberland side of the Tyne, a bit further inland from Arbeia, which we've just been to, but it does show on the curve a good defensive position. And it's pretty much maybe the same size as Segedunum, although as Arbeia, sorry, but a bit more. It did hold about 120 cavalry and 400 infantry, 480 infantry, mainly from Belgium and Eastern France, and 4 cohort of legions. And it is based right beside, well, it was built right beside where Swan Hunter's shipyard used to be. The museum has a huge observation tower, which looks out over the actual fort itself, which, as I say, is a similar design to Arbeia. However, the only really reconstructed bit was, and that was done about the year 2000, was the bathhouse. But unfortunately, that's been closed due to local vandalism, which is such a shame. And also some of the herb gardens and that have been neglected and need refurbishing. Yeah, I was there early spring, so it might have been done better by now. And whether the bathhouse is open again, I just don't know, which is such a shame. But the museum downstairs is really, really, really good, and has lots and lots of really good information. However, you've got to pay, unlike Arbeia, where it's free. But there's the bathhouse there, and so never mind. But there's a good view of the Tyne as well. A Roman metro map. So hope you enjoyed this different Land Between Two Walls. And like, subscribe, continue to watch. Bye for now.